How's it going, ladies and gents? This is Jeff with iDownloadBlog. We are talking about JellyLock. This is a jailbreak tweak that adds the Android Jelly Bean lock screen launcher to your iOS lock screen, as you can see there. So you have the little lock icon with the little circle. If you tap that, you reveal the larger circle, which has some launch elements here, like the camera app or the, of course, unlock. And this replaces your slide to unlock option on your iPhone. You can also add additional apps to this lock screen launcher. You see right there, I just launched into the camera app. It's that easy. And if I swipe it over to the right side, it will unlock the device like that. Now, JellyLock has quite a few features that you will find in its preference panel there. So there is JellyLock. If I open that up, you'll see tons of features actually. And I'm going to go through each and every one of these. Now, the nice thing about this is that all the changes take effect without a respring, which is nice. So you see all these different options here. You even have some advanced options that we'll get into later. But the key is you can change any of these on the fly. For instance, if I just turn the tweak off, I hit the kill switch, bam, it's gone like that. No respring required, which is really nice. So you see it's right back. Now let's talk about the theme to start with. By default, it has the white theme. You also have a solid white theme, which I'll show you right now. There is a solid white theme. Doesn't seem too different from the default theme. There is the black theme that you'll have. Not a huge fan of that, honestly. And the iOS theme I really don't like. But it may just be because the wallpaper I'm using doesn't go with it too well. I do like the white default, though. Now let's talk about app shortcuts. Now, you can launch apps, of course, from this launcher by assigning specific app shortcuts. You can assign up to 3 different shortcuts. You can choose from any apps installed on any of the apps installed on your iPhone or iPod Touch or whatever device you're using, and launch those directly from the lock screen. So I'm going to show you the first one. I'm going to just configure. Who knows? Let's see. Let's configure Cydia as our first app shortcut. There we go. So it just appears right there on the launcher. You can slide up and release on the Cydia app icon, and that will launch into Cydia, just like this. Pretty simple, huh? So you can also assign additional, like I said, up to 2 more app shortcuts to launch from JellyLock. So I'm going to go in here and just configure a couple of more here. Select option number 2, and we'll make that the calculator. And you see the calculator right there on the lock screen. And let's go ahead and configure the last one. How about the contacts app? So here we go. So there we go, a full JellyLock. You have 3 lock screen shortcuts for specific applications. And you have, of course, the camera and you have the unlock. Now, if I reset all defaults, it just removes all the custom applications that I've added as app shortcuts and puts it back to default, which is nice. Next option is the circle. You can customize how this circle looks. You can change the color of the circle. You can change it to make it fully transparent if you want to do that. I don't particularly like that, but the circle is still there. As you can see, if I slide up and move my finger like that, you see it stays within the range of the circle, but it's just transparent. Now, I can also change the color to, I don't know, anything. Green, how about that? Don't like that too much. I think we'll stick to the white default. I'm finding that the default settings are probably the most ideal for JellyLock. And you could also change the size of the circle. See, the circle's a little smaller there, about 50%. I'll unlock. I'll turn it all the way down to make the circle really small. There we go. So you see how small that circle is. Now, not only can you change the size of the circle, you can change the offset. So I can choose to drag the offset all the way to the left. That makes the circle appear closer to the home button and cuts off the circle. And if I drag it all the way to the right, it displays the entire circle further away from the home button, just like that. Now, one slightly concerning observation that I've made is that there's no reset to defaults option for these particular settings. Like you had with the app shortcuts, there's no reset to default. So you kind of just have to estimate where they were previously if you like the default settings. So hopefully the developer, Max Katzman, I think I pronounced your name right, can add a simple option to just reset these settings to default. Now, under the icons, you'll see a swap lock and camera option. If I turn that on, it'll swap the position of the lock icon and the camera icon. You see the lock's on the left side now, the camera's on the right. You can also change the size of the icons. Further to the left makes the size smaller, and then further to the right will increase the size. I'll turn it up now. Show you the bigger icons. There we go. All right, I'll turn that back down and turn off swap lock and camera. You also have opacity, which you can set to whatever, 10% or 100%. I have it about 50 now. You can see the circle and all the assets are almost transparent now. Don't really like that too much, so I'll turn that back up to 100%. You also have vibration. On touching the lock, you can turn vibration on, and on unlock, you can turn vibration on. You have some contact information here. And you also have advanced, which is a very interesting section. Resize bulletin list. I'll talk about that a little more in depth later. Replace lock icon. You can change the actual icon for the lock, and you can point to the path of the icon's location. You can also alter the camera shortcut. So if I want to change what the camera shortcut opens, I can do that. Swipe over, it opens up the calculator. And of course, I'm going to reset that back to default here, just like that. Now let's talk about resize bulletin list. Now with this on, the bulletin list, which is all the incoming notifications that appear on your lock screen, will resize accordingly to accommodate the position of JellyLock. If you turn it off, then you might run into some problems there, overlapping bulletins and things like that. It just doesn't look nearly as pretty. Now remember, resize bulletin list is on right now. Watch what happens here. I'm gonna send myself a bunch of tweetbot notifications. Just a few more so I can show you. You see where it's cutting off there? So it's resized this bulletin list to fit JellyLock. Isn't that nice? So you don't have to worry about things overlapping, notifications overlapping the JellyLock and vice versa. It resizes that bulletin list to fit and accommodate JellyLock. Nice, huh? Now, of course, if you turn that off, you can probably guess what's going to happen. Things are going to get a little crazy. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to send myself some additional notifications and show you exactly what happens with the resize bulletin option off. Send myself a few more. Oh, it's coming down. Yes, you can see it's overlapping. So that's not very pretty. It's probably not how you want things to look. I highly recommend that you keep the resize bulletin option set to on. Otherwise, you're going to run into this little ugly problem there. So I'm really interested to hear what you guys have to say about JellyLock. It is a very well-designed tweak. You can tell a lot of love has been put into this thing. Lots of people like it. There's over 19,000 downloads. And JellyLock is free. You can find it on Max's beta repo, which I'll have linked in the description below and on the post on iDownloadBlog. Again, let me know what you guys think about JellyLock in the comment section below. This is Jeff with iDownloadBlog.